Hello guys, first things first, Happy New Year to every single one of you. I wasn't able to upload because of the holidays and the university exams. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the holiday vacation and feel fresh for 2020. As always, New Year means a new Dragon Ball game for Bandai, and this time around, it happened to be Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Originally, when this game was announced, I genuinely felt no interest to it whatsoever. The game to me looked like the legendary series of Dragon Ball Z The Legacy of Goku, developed by Webfoot for the Game Boy software. And since they only showed the Frieza saga, I thought that Kakarot would be a trilogy based on those series. Thankfully, I was wrong, but then again, it should have been obvious. Like I mentioned, I wasn't interested in the game, but I didn't push it aside due to the fact that CyberConnect 2, the company behind Naruto Ninja Storm and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, was developing it. To cut the story short, the more they showed, the more I was getting into it. If I recall correctly, it wasn't until the famous Chala Head Chala trailer that I said, you know what, I'm gonna get it. I ended up pre-ordering it a week prior to its release date. The game is an action RPG first and a fighting game second. CyberConnect 2 made sure to specify that the game's purpose is to introduce new fans who don't want to sit down and watch 300 episodes of the story of Z to its story. Events from Raditz all the way to Majin Buu, but also give the older fans who are tired of the same story being told for the 30th plus time. They made sure to add sub-stories and fun Easter eggs. In my opinion, this goal of theirs was achieved. The story is close to the original script, and the music being used is the same as the show used to have, with additional new ones. The story of the game, as I mentioned, is literally going from Raditz to Buu. You will live the game through characters like Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Vegeta, and future Trunks, but also briefly play as Kid Goten, Kid Trunks, Gotenks, and Vegito. The story is mainly delivered through cutscenes and dialogues. Sub-stories are used to fill the in-between of the series that was left open. They are also used to show you how characters like Lunch, Puar, Nam, Aether, and many more went up with their lives since and during the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z series. It is worth mentioning how both Fighter Z and the two Xenoverse titles are being implemented in the game. Android 21 was originally created as a new character for the game Dragon Ball Z Fighters, but in Kakarot, she is there interacting with the characters. She is first found being an employer at Brief's, Bulma's family, working to get experience in some specific science. But she can also be found where major fights such as the Saiyans, Androids, Cells, and Majinks took place, studying and researching their science, which led her to become the life form she is in Fighters. As for Xenoverse, spoiler alert, Xenoverse 1 finished with Towa holding Mira's brain and claiming she is going to help him regain his form and become perfect. Thus, she flies for an alternative timeline. In Kakarot, Towa appears holding Mira's brain and creating her famous evilized form of the heroes that you have to fight for her to create Mira, and then proceeds to live for the story of Xenoverse 2 to take place. The gameplay can be separated in different aspects. These are free roaming, fight, and additional content. To start things first, I loved everything about free roaming. I spent hours upon hours running and flying around, whether it was flying with Flying Nimbus, simply flying, or power flying. The fact that you can crash mountains, trees, and destroy the green grass below you when flying in supersonic speed makes the game feel amazing. The same can be told about water. Flying above water will create those waves that the water makes, and again, making the game more realistic. Little details like that shows that CyberConnect 2 did care a lot about the realism of the universe. Other vehicles such as cars and motor robots, once again, give a different sweet taste to the game. They are not a must-do, but it's really enjoyable and I would recommend to do them. Other minigames such as break caves, hunt food, and go fishing, they play very simplistic by pressing 2 buttons and let the cutscene play. These activities though, other than sub-quest and a bit of main quest, are completely optional, unless you are going for the Platinum Trophy. Scattered around the world are evil encounters such as Cybermen, Babylon's puppets, and Red Ribbon androids and Frieza soldiers that you will have to fight or instant KO when power flying into them. The combat aspect is a mixture of good and bad. It's a fast-paced combat that always makes the plus, however, it might feel a bit button smashy. If you played Ninja Storm, the buttons should be no stranger to you. You charge your ki by pressing triangle. X to get mobility, which is really fast and entertaining to use. Square to fire your ki blast, and finally spamming circle with throw punches and kicks. Additionally, combos can be used such as circle circle square, circle circle triangle, and circle circle X. You can access your special attacks by holding R1 and combo with either circle, square, triangle, or X. L1 is used when you're in party with at least one AI, and you can use it to make that AI use a specific attack. L2 and R2 will open the transformation menu. Transformations are boosting your power, but they slowly drain your ki, unless it's Kaioken, which will instead drain your HP. L2 alone is used to guard, and with the right key and by pressing X, it will teleport behind the enemy and use a heavy hit to knock down the opponent. While fighting main bosses, they will throw a cutscene of ultimate techniques that flash red all over the ground, and you have a few seconds to move away before the blast is released. Beam struggles are there, but they're so random to actually activate them. Simply throwing a beam onto another won't work. L1 and R1 are with conditions with the AI are met, that is, use their support until they grow orange, will activate the team special, similar to Dragonball Z Legends Rush attack. Last but not least, the keypad will open an item menu where you store your Z capsules, senzu beans, and etc. The RPG elements is a bit tricky to explain. Okay, basically you have to level up your character to learn specific techniques. Training is necessary to unlock skills and power them up. You can boost your attributes by eating food. I would recommend always going for the chichi plates. Specific meals boost your EXP, your melee, your buffs in general. Other than food, you have the community boards. Community boards once again boost your status. Side quests and story events will reward you with soul emblems that you can place on the community board to get extra boosts. Figuring out what emblem can chain combo with another also plays a huge role. However, for me, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really use it that much until the secret boss when I wanted to get XP faster. The problem with it is that the game will always reward you with a ton of XP to make sure that you are at the right level on the right fight. So if you spend time fighting random encounters and training, chances are when you get the story reward XP, you'll be levels above the boss and you will just roll the boss and their opponent easily in like 10 hits. It happened to me in Cell and Gohan, it was so anticlimactic. Lastly, you will always have to update your hero skills tree to power up certain techniques, whether it's ki, melee or blast. Now this being a Dragon Ball game means that you have to find the Dragon Balls. Dragon Ball in this game is really fun. You basically locate them in your render and move towards them. You can find them laying in the ground, underneath the ocean, into bushes, below trees, or inside the caves, and generally around the world, just like they should have been. Collecting them is relatively easy. The only annoying part is the loading screen. You get every single time you're changing an area. Wishes allow you to refight boss fights and get extra items like orbs, zeni, or food items. I would recommend refight the bosses close to when you defeated them, because if you do it like me, you'll be fighting a level 10 Raditz when you're level 90. The worlds in this game are gorgeous. I believe other than the Legacy of Goku series and the Dragon Ball Online game, we never had the option to casually walk, fly, or interact with the environment. Flying to Grandpa Gohan's house up in the mountains, walking cycles around King Sky's planet, casually walking West City and all other areas is really amazing. You can find collectible cards that will tell you events that happen in that particular area. For example, flying to Master Korin's tower, you will find a picture of Kid Goku capturing Korin, with a description of Goku's task during that era. These cards are taken by the original anime and from the original Dragon Ball card game. All the collectibles and encounters will be saved to your Dragon Ball Wikipedia that you can access on your menu by pressing triangle. Hero profiles, cards, music and videos will all be there. The more you progress the story and the more side quests you do, the more you'll fill your Wikipedia. Now this game sure is nice, and I did praise it for being fast-paced, good storyteller, and generally beautiful, but it doesn't mean it's the perfect game. This game has its down. Story-wise, the game shows amazing stuff with gorgeous animation, but it cut down so much, which begs the question, why? Since like Vegeta's final flash against Cell, and Trunks' Ultra Saiyan form and his fight against Cell, are cut off the game, they're not there. The entire Tenkaichi tournament is there as a 7-minute cutscene. No fight takes place. No Goten vs Trunks, no nothing. Piccolo's amazing fight against Android 17 is rushed by simply playing the battle. No cutscene, no nothing. You just fight and move to Cell. It's really weird to me how they gave scenes like Dodoria vs Vegeta more care than others. Subquests, like I mentioned, some of them show you extra story, such as the party everybody threw when Goku came from Namek, or future Trunks having a boys' party at Roshi's, learning about his father, and the events of the Z-Wars have been through, but others are just repeated and boring. They're mostly like, go there, fight these guys, go there, bring me this material, and go there, search for that item. They are repetitive and boring. It's no wonder why people stop doing them after the first 10, which grant you the achievement. Loading screens were a pain because every single time you changed area, the loading screen will just pop and stay there for quite a while, but thankfully it was reduced with the patch that came last week. Last but not least, the challenge of the game felt easy. The enemy AI is easy to win against because every single time it's about to attack you, it flashes red, so you can prepare your block or you can prepare your dodge. Overall, this game is unique retelling of the Dragon Ball Z story. As I mentioned, it's a storyteller first and the fighter second. The game does have the potential to become one of the best ones, but it needs that multiplayer. That was a huge minus towards it. I know it's designed to be a single player, but I believe it has the potential and what it takes to become a multiplayer. It's certainly not the best the series have, but it's one that deserves some recognition. Through data mining, it was said to have Beerus and Whis alongside Super Saiyan God, Goku, and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, so a DLC of Dragon Ball Super may be coming. If you're interested in the game, I would recommend checking out gameplays of the game, cause nostalgia will play a huge role, but the fact that the price is high will also play a counter role. If you dislike the game, please let me know in the comments why. I've spoken with friends from both sides and I completely understand where they're both coming from. So it will be interesting for me to see how you people feel about it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do tell me in the comments your thoughts and opinions about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. See ya!